Hello everybody. So unfortunately I have to re-record this video because I didn't turn my mic on. Now I'm really happy to be back and to talk to you guys again. It's been a while. I've mostly posted videos talking with other people, but I'm pretty excited as to where we are and the future that is ahead of us. I think that recently I've seen all of the different costs that I've been paying for software, for AI, for just different things in the world have been increasing. Hardware is getting more expensive. This technology is becoming more and more important in our day-to-day lives. It is kind of a staple, and we really need to figure out how to optimize our spend, optimize our ownership, and optimize the availability of this software now and for years to come. I'm going to show you a bit of how I have been working and talk a bit about cost savings, how you can basically improve your AI usage and get more out of it and make money. Now, I'm not selling you a course. I'm not selling anything. I think I understand how to make money using this technology as I've been doing this for the last few years. It provides you with a lot of opportunity. And right now, what you need to do is to just figure out, like, how does this stuff work? How can we improve ourselves with it? And how can I make this into a business as it is becoming more and more important? I will jump a bit around, but we're going to start with Codex because that's where things start with me. So Codex has been my daily driver over the last few months, increasingly so. The latest 3 models that they published are relatively good, and what I've been using it for mainly is goals. So we can see here I have it running for 20 hours. Doesn't really need my input. It just runs until it's done, which I love. I love this a lot. And I also use it for computer use. With computer use, we have the model is able to basically take control of macOS, take control of the browser through various plugins. So there's the Chrome plugin, there is the computer plugin, and you can imagine how powerful this is. I will start a chat. We're going to put it in AI, and I'm going to have it use the browser if we can manage to do that. I want you to research how to make money with AI using the browser tool. So with the browser tool, with computer and Chrome, it is able to do things in the background on your computer on your behalf. And again, I love this. So I've been doing my taxes through it. I've been doing accounting through it. I should have chosen a different model. This would take forever if I leave it on Sol. Let's do this, go on. But the tools that Codex has available to it are actually things that I use every day. Let's go here. You can see it has all of the stuff that I really love, and it connects pretty easily. You just do the OAuth in that app. You come back and Codex can do your work for you. So I've been doing a lot of that. I've been using it for research, for paperwork, all kinds of different tasks that I don't think it's going to be able to connect. Agent is not defined. Okay, well, we'll use Chrome. I don't really use the browser one, but I do use the Chrome one. Let's just use that. And while I am on my browser, it's going to be able to open tabs and start working on the browser itself. In the meantime, let's open the artificial analysis website because I think this is pretty important. We could see here that we have way better models now. Even stuff that is open source is doing significantly better than what it was a year ago. It's taken over the browser. Let's see, and you'll see that it's going to start like searching. It's going to look around, scroll, touch. I'm not really moving the screen, but imagine how much of our work happens through the computer. Your email, scheduling appointments, managing your calendar, submitting forms, submitting invoices, whatever it is that you do, you are using the browser multiple times every day. And there's a lot of stuff that you have to do through it that is very time consuming. I picked the dumbest model just so that we can get it to run fast, but you could see it here. It starts going, it's looking around anyway, but it's researching this paper, and it can go and do this across different websites. It can research the costs or do shopping for you. It has basically applied to green cards on behalf of my wife and kids. I'm an American citizen. My family is not yet, but we were working on the paperwork, and it was something that I was basically suffering through for 2 years. It's pretty difficult. There's a lot of stuff you have to do. You have to keep track of all this, and it's not fun. So having something be able to take control of the browser for me while I'm doing other stuff, because I don't really have to let it do, it doesn't have to take control of my, my keyboard and mouse and screen like Claude Code does. It just does it in the background, and it leaves these, what are they called, tab groupings, and you can basically go through and help it, do stuff with it. So if it ever runs into a CAPTCHA, it'll typically ask you to go and solve the CAPTCHA. And you can collaborate with it on much more difficult problems. And it is able to run apps in the background, so like desktop apps, and actually iterate and take screenshots and just run for days and days at a time. It's pretty good at AI stuff. It's better than the predecessors. So here it's training and quantizing and doing all this stuff. It's great. I love it. And I think it is going to be a staple of the workforce for this kind of intellectual work. And we'll get back to why this is important in a second. But here you could see I built my own version of Codex, and I managed to get access to Local Studio, which Local Studio is a really, really nice app that I have poured like a very long time into. I think it works well. I've been using it, and I can now use it with a very good mobile app that was popular a few months ago, and I think still is in many ways. It's called KittyLitter. Very interesting name, but we'll keep it that way. It was given to me by the creator, who is now working a full-time job. But these things work well together. Now, it's pretty slow. I don't want to sit here waiting for it. But you could see that I can also have my own models running in the background and doing work. So this is in my garage, or actually in my attic. Let's go to the images, if I still have them open. But I am running my own version of this in my attic, and it's been pretty great. I really love it. I have goals running locally all the time, and I've found it to be sufficient for me now. We've had a lot of changes in the quantization world, in self-hosting. There are a lot of models right now that are good, that fit on $2,000 to $4,000 of hardware. They run pretty fast, and they're pretty good. Like this Laguna model is relatively good. I've seen the benchmarks. I also trust that once they get through all of the different like inference bugs of the first preview period, this is going to be a phenomenal model to run on a single Spark, and that costs $4,000. And if you look, it's hitting 70% on Terminal Bench, which is significantly higher than almost anything else out there. It's 70 to 88. It's not that big of a difference between the best model in the world and something that you can run at home for $4,000. So offloading a lot of that cost onto that is important, because it is getting significantly more expensive to do all this. I don't know why it's not doing good, but that's interesting. I think I might have an issue that I will need to fix, but that's okay. But if we go to usage, and you can see here that I've been using hundreds of millions of tokens locally every day, because the technology has gotten better. Earlier, even though I had the hardware, it just wasn't good enough. The models weren't good enough. It was slow. But we've gotten significant improvements, and these are available at relatively decent prices compared to what they were a year ago. You can even run GLM at home, which is the top open weight model for a while. you can run it at home for $18,000, or you can run a model that's like 20% worse for $4,000. You can even run a model on $1,000 of hardware these days. And it's just so much better than it was when I got into this hobby or interest. Going back a second, we can also see that the goals here, they take up a lot of tokens. They just run for like a day plus at a time. And you can get this to run for months at a time. So the taxes, the green card have been running for months. I just pause them whenever there's not any progress being made. But figuring out how to organize these threads is a big challenge that you will have to get through, because the models on their own, they're just too slow to sit there and wait for Codex to finish doing its thing. It's not going to move fast enough for you to focus on a single session. So it helps to make a bunch of different sessions and then have them run for very long periods of time. Keep track of them and make sure that they're making progress and they're not wasting time or money, but keeping things going. And then there's a lot of types of work that don't require too much intelligence. So if you're quality assuring a site, you're clicking through features and testing that it works, taking screenshots, making sure everything aligns on mobile and desktop and tablet and all that. The models can run on that for weeks. One second. So you can pass on a lot of this like app creation over to them and build very unique things by just writing stuff properly and giving it the space to run, and then managing your costs, right? Because if you use the best model at high effort, this will last you for a day. This subscription, this is the $200 max subscription, lasts maybe 1 to 2 days. And I have 2 of them, and then I have Claude and all these other ones. So unless you're interested in spending $1,000 a month on this stuff, it's best that you figure out how to like use this toggle as fast as you can. So maybe try most of your sessions in Luna and then just upgrade when it gets more difficult, or start a new session with a better, smarter model if it doesn't work out, because then you get a lot of work done reasonably well for much cheaper than you would if you just default to a high reasoning Sol that is just going to sit there and work for hours at a time. I mean, my usage rates went from 5.5 down to like nothing. I just don't get, I'm constantly waiting for resets or purchasing more subscriptions, when there was a point where I could just use it all day and not really experience any of these issues. So if you have any type of hardware, there are websites like ThisIsLocalAI, which I've been working on, that basically we've benchmarked all these different models that are coming out that are open source on different hardware, like your M5, your DGX Spark or whatever, and we ran the benchmarks on them and their quantizations to see like what speeds should you expect, how many tasks is it going to be able to succeed at. And you could see here that models like Quen are just scoring abnormally high compared to models from a year ago. If we go on artificial analysis and we empty this, clear it, and then let's do Quen 3.627b, and then let's put Sonnet 4.5 reasoning. This runs on $1,000 of hardware, and you can see it right here. It does better than Sonnet with the reasoning. And this is actually true because this model is just trained a period after this one, and it performs really well. And you can run this at home, and you can run this 24 hours a day. And if you don't mind the speeds, you can run this in loops and goals, especially at night, and have them build stuff. Then the issue isn't like what you build anymore, or whether or not you can build a nice app, or whether you can build something that is valuable. It's how do you get what is valuable that you've built over to customers that are willing to pay you money. And to do that, you need distribution. You need some way of getting stuff in front of other people. So going to meetups, going to events, cold calling, which I don't think is a great strategy. Having a Twitter account, a YouTube account, a Google account, right? Anything that you can do to get something in front of other people so that you can start selling it. And then keeping things simple is really important now, because the models can just slop out like hundreds of thousands of lines of code a day. So this is a pretty big feature, and I've been fighting. The first iteration of this PR was 6,000 lines of code. I just let it do its thing. It worked, and I didn't look at it. I didn't review it. I made the PR, and then I started looking at it, and I saw that it's just junk and trash. So I go back, and I'm like, hey, this is trash. Like, let's get it down. And it sat there for 4 hours. It got it down to 1,600, and we just kept going from there. So basically, you have to have the model use what it has available to it. Don't let it recreate, redevelop all these different features, all these different things. Just let it do its job with what it has available to it, and don't accept the first output, which is pretty simple. You can iterate on things. You can ask open weight models to review these larger models. We have things like OMP, which I'm going to see if I can use this feature. I'm not sure if I can. Let's do, yeah, I think I removed it, but if I do this, like let's do OMP, and OMP is OhMyPie. So this is running a local model. Explain this repo to me. So this is a local model that I am running. I mean, obviously it's a huge model, but it's running locally. It's the GLM, and if I go back here, oh no, that disappears. That's a bug. Well, I think I could, that sucks. I need to fix this bug. But yeah, I have to fix this. Resume. Okay. So this harness lets you set up like any model, any provider. Okay, great. So could you please explain what OMP is, OhMyPie, how it works, what the advisor pattern is, and yeah, explain all this stuff to me. So now you can also see that on the right, like stuff is happening, right? The Codex models are working on this mobile app while we speak, and OMP is, this is a local model that is running, doing research for me. So this is the typical workflow that I have, where I use the open models to do stuff that isn't as consequential, that isn't as important research, like basically reviewing things, doing some basic computer use stuff like, hey, I'm running out of memory, or open the Docker, or download this app. That stuff doesn't really need to go to a frontier model. This also works with small models like Qwen 3.6 35B. Can run on $1,000 of hardware, and I've had it edit YouTube videos for me like in 5 minutes on a DGX Spark. It was using FFmpeg to like strip different parts of the video out, stitch other pieces in, and it did a perfect job. I was very happy with the video. I posted it on Twitter, and it got like 500-600 likes, give or take. And if you think about that, where you have a local model that is able to do some kind of work, you also have Twitter, you have YouTube, you can post things, you can spend time on social media, and that's going to get you in front of other people who are willing to pay for your stuff. Now here it came back with this, so it's telling us about the advisor pattern and how that works and all that. It's great, it's amazing. And I can just use this. Unfortunately, if I navigate off and on, that is a bug, so we're gonna go back here and tell it. Let's see. So there's a bug in Local Studio where if I open a terminal and I navigate off back to, say, the status page, and I come back, the terminal is shut and lost forever. There is no persistence for the terminal, or if there is persistence, I don't see it. So what would you do here? How can we fix this? Can you go and debug, look at the different problems, and come back to me with a plan? Maybe you could look at the GhostX app. It does have some patterns. So there you go. Now, I can just keep debugging, keep doing this kind of stuff. But you can see that it's just going up more and more and more, and I'm not having to pay for that usage compared to this usage or the Codex usage. Also, using automations, using plugins is going to unlock a whole world of productivity for you. If you connect your Gmail, you connect your spreadsheets, your GitHub, and you have an automation that runs, it checks your email, it checks your GitHub, new pull requests, new issues, it basically sends sub agents to go and maybe do the task in that GitHub issue or whatever it is, research something or file a paper for you. And you can have these things running in the background 24/7 at relatively decent prices. I don't know how long it stays at these prices, so learning how to offload the work onto your own models, whether that be LM Studio or Local Studio, that is going to help you so much. The distribution thing is the most important thing that you need to focus on. If you can get in front of people on Twitter and you just post as a specialist, you just have a passion for something, you sit there every day and you post about it, and eventually the Twitter algorithm rewards you for doing that, as long as you're posting quality content. And what quality content isn't something that is like super well written, it's something that is appropriate, that services the people that are following you, that are interested in your work, and is useful and helpful, where people don't feel like they regret the time that they spent reading your stuff. If you could do that, Twitter will propel you, YouTube will do so as well. You can also use things like Google Maps. You can have profiles in different places so that you can get in front of other people. Then understanding what people are doing. So research is super important. Like, how do you understand, like, this is for me, I'm creating these different surveys to collect information so that we can make decisions on what we are interested in and what we want to push forward. So let me go here. And actually, it would probably be somewhere else. It is on this app. Letter app, open survey. Okay. Can you please deploy this to whatever, to Vercel? Get me the link. Vercel, it's Vercel. But yeah, it's going to take some time because it's a pretty long conversation. It's going to have to recompute the KV cache, which is very expensive again. But in the meantime, like, hopefully this is helpful. I know I'm all over the place. I just want you guys to know that it is looking good. Things are looking better. There's more options for us every day. We have better products, more intelligence, more tools, cheaper inference right now. And the world seems pretty hopeful. Maybe I'm being optimistic, but I think local source is doing, so local AI and open source are doing pretty good. It seems like we have a good future ahead of us. So things like the DGX Spark, the RTX Sparks, all this is going to help onboard billions of people. And if you look at the stats, like, a very small percentage of people actually have used agents. And if you're watching this, you probably have, and that signals an opportunity to you to prepare for when people start onboarding, to prepare the products, the educational information, to position yourself, to specialize your skills. I don't see this going away. It seems more useful every day. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully the next one I'll be a little bit more focused.